Right, hello and welcome to the Stevie P channel for today's reaction on what is one of the most classic Varsity Cup finals you will ever see. An absolutely enthralling game and one of the most enjoyable games I've watched in a long time. And really cool. I was doing a watch along on it and stuff like that because to see some of the performances from some of these young men was just awesome to behold. So yeah, I'm going to have a look at some of that and sort of maybe looking at a couple of the potential players you might see getting further honours. As I said, what was an absolutely brilliant spectacle. So yeah, it was between UCT and NWU, and I'll tell you what, a very large NWU pack which UCT had to contend with. And in the first half, well, it was pretty one-way action actually, and it was a pretty good start for NWU, and UCT very much had the sort of early chance. You see early penalty from them getting going, and yeah, I think it was going to be a game where where UCT were always going to have to man up towards NW's pack. That was sort of the big chat beforehand, was were they going to be able to handle the big forwards, were they going to be able to handle the physicality that NW were going to bring. And UCT, very skillful side, never the biggest side in the competition. You know, they always sort of seem to rely on very skilled players and very good sort of structure stuff like that, rather than sort of pure physicality. So an early penalty, and I thought that Bakava was kicked beautifully off the tee. Number 11 was very cool to see a wing kicking, and I think he was about 4 from 4 by the end of the game. So a really impressive penalty to get going, and then that was the perfect moment for the UCT. They've just scored a penalty, hit kick 3 overs. NW, this was the second line they had, right on the 5-meter line, and were sort of building towards trying to score that first try. UCT steal the line out, so perfect opportunity. They then break it up to find a better angle. So the exit play, this is such good exit play until this moment. Actually, like the perfect sort of exit play. Steal the line out, one phase, create a gap, and take a look at number 7 in Dow there, because his scrum back Abbott Moose goes back. And for me, probably standing a bit too upright, needs to be a bit sort of further forward, and comes off the back of him. And yeah, how's that for a fortuitous try, to say the least? And I'm hoping they're going to show the replay here, because this was an absolute moment, a nightmare moment, and it actually proved to be the difference. And you can see kicking off the back of Endow there. And it just, how's that for an early Christmas present? And it's pretty poor from the UCT. It must be said, to be brutally honest. But yeah, early Christmas present for NWU. And at the end of the day, you can only play what's in front of you, and that's what they did. So yeah, then all of a sudden it was on to UCT. We kicked another penalty in the meantime. And this over here, just really impressive continuity. I thought Blackenberg there. Look, how's that for an offload? Inside over here. And this is one of the many opportunities where I think UCT really should have capitalized a bit better. But once again, pretty straightforward though. And the kick coming from Akatava, yeah, perfect. So the boot of him keeping UCT alive at the half-hour point, but this is where we just see the absolute brutality of NW, and it is with this rolling maul, and the scrums were good, the mauls were good, and they just can't stop it, can they? So a pretty easy decision in the end there for the referee, and just what a maul. And they were right in saying that at the end of the day, and I think you look at this at the size difference almost to a certain degree, and you can see how it's just such a big pack. Alsweras, the captain of NW, was absolutely brilliant the entire game. I was actually really impressed with them. So yeah, 13 points to 9, and then at halftime, just before halftime, remember the name of Tino Swanepoel. Remember the name, number 15 there. Just nobody at home. Bang, cheers, thank you very much. Over he goes, wearing the pink shorts for a reason. Former SA7 schools player, and what a player he is, and going to be a very special player in future games to come. And you can just see exploiting the space there brilliantly, and a really good try there coming for NWU, and a fortuitous try. So now UCT have got a lot to do. Now they famously came back, I think it was 2016, and they scored 18 points. Well, they were 18 points down with 5 minutes to go and managed to actually come back and win the Varsity Cup at the same venue. So at halftime talk would have been, chaps, we're still in this. And what I saw was one of the most impressive second half performances I've seen from any team. The fight, the desire, and the composure as well, a lot of the time from UCT was very, very impressive. Scored an early try after 23 phases, by that 23 phases. So this was a 7-point try. Basically in the Varsity Cup, how it works, if you score a try that originated in your own half, it's 7 points, and then you've got an opportunity to kick an extra 2 points, so it can become a 9-point try. Remember the name here. Reinhard Krautz was sublime, was the man of the match. Relentless worker. It was like watching a young Franco Moster going through his work. Just such a good ball carrier. Carried up well all night, and was just absolutely relentless. Top performance it was from him. And this was important because all of a sudden, with a 9-point try, they were right back in the game. I would love to see the stats, because in the 55th, this was probably the first time, genuinely, that NWU had the ball. And this was actually turnover ball from UCT. It had the ball sort of, if you can see, about there. And turnover ball, forced to Robinson, who hammers it down the left. Now, this is where UCT, first error, there's nobody home. Absolutely nobody home. David Hayes is desperately trying to get back to fly half. But again, this is Kyle Lamb, the center. Not sure where this wing is. But the skill. Around he goes. Tino Swanepoel with the brace. Just so quick. And I think what's so good about this try is David Hayes is a very good player. One of the top players in the Varsity Cup throughout the season. And I think what's so good about this play over here is understanding your limits and knowing where your strengths are. So over here, if he holds on to this ball, I don't think he's scoring. I think right there, David Hayes has got the touchline. He can shepherd him there. He's got Kyle Lamb on the inside. If he holds on to this ball, he's not scoring. But David Hayes is coming across. Swanepoel knows he's got the pace of him. So what does he do? Just drops it onto the boot. Hayes is trying to push him into touch. Can't do it. And over he goes. It's such an intelligent piece of skill that. Just backing your pace. As I said, understanding that you've got the pace. You're not going to have the physicality. And for me, watch out for where he's going to come. I think he's going to come after this phase. I've seen quite a few good cameos in this man. Jack Vandenbolt was absolutely sensational off the bench from UCT. One of the best cameos I've ever seen. And I tell you what, as a Lion supporter, seeing a fleet-footed, quick number 8 in the scrum cap makes me very happy. But look at that, just a bit of pace, energy, and more important, desire. You know, still had a lot to do there. You got to pass two defenders. And all of a sudden, UCT right back in this. And conversion was good as well. And I tell you what, I reckon a lot of UCT fans will talk about the fact that, another great kick by the way, that they were almost a little bit robbed, because they had a scrum in NW's half, and they went through a couple of phases, and they were then blown for a knock on where the ball came loose in a ruck. You go back and look at it, it comes off the thigh of the UCT player, so it probably wasn't a knock on. But then all the way back there, they actually won a tight hit scrum as well, so they had so many opportunities to win the game. But credit to NW Eagles, because they just hung in there. And they never went away. And they just, a couple of very opportunistic tries, both of them from Swanepoel, very opportunistic and very classy, very well done to him. But they tackled a lot, and what we're missing here is a couple of butchered opportunities from UCT. Friedrichs had literally a 2-on-none situation where the ball had come loose. Him and Ndudula, the reserve scrummer for UCT, had an open space in front of them and they had 5 minutes to go, and he kicked the ball dead. He picks it up, goes over, UCT could potentially win this game. So they had their chances but didn't take them. NW, on the other hand, were very clinical when they had their chances. Tino Swanepoel was given 2 opportunities to score. He took both those opportunities. So, credit to NW Eagles, who, in front of their home crowd, I mean, look what it means to them. And this is why the Varsity Cup is so special. It's not only just a production line for future players, future coaches, physios, the whole works, but it cultivates a passion for the game. And there's just that rivalry that you can't emulate. You can try and emulate at a provincial level, and we do to a certain degree, but anybody that's been to a mainstream university will understand that sort of that loyalty you've got to university. It's a bit like school rugby, and they've managed to cultivate such a passion. I mean, it's a packed stadium, and look what it means to the lads. And we're watching a Varsity Cup final. We're very likely watching a couple of future Springboks. That's the reality. So congratulations to UCT and the NW Eagles for a really entertaining game. Big congratulations to NW Eagles for winning the Currie Cup, but I mean for winning the Varsity Cup. A lot of these players actually playing in the Currie Cup First Division for the Leopards, which is cool to see. There's a bit of a pipeline going there. But let me know what you thought about the Varsity Cup in general, as well as the final down in the comments below. Please do smash the like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.